My boyfriend is ignoring me trying to end things. I, 28 female, tried to break things off with my 24 male boyfriend of almost a year last week. He is asexual and not interested in sex, he can take it or leave it. I didn't know this when we got together. I found out he tries for me, and he says he finds me attractive, but as an allosexual my sex drive is way higher than his. He would have sex with me once a fortnight or less, but I'm used to like 2/3 times a day. He also has some trauma around sex, and some weird body hang-ups because of Lemony Snicket. He keeps sex to a strict schedule. We watch a movie. We have dinner. We have sex. There is no spontaneity or feeling of desire. We usually cuddle until he decides he can be bothered to have sex with me. He also has OCD. Could this be an aspect of that? Anyway, I said I don't think we are a good match and we should keep things platonic. The next day, he showed up at my house unexpected with coffee when I was out, which was kind of cute but also immensely stressfully as I was a 45-minute drive away. He waited until I came home and we got breakfast. I stood by us not being compatible, but at the end he goes, "So are we okay?" Like he was reading lines from a script. I was so stunned, I think I just said no. And we both left. Now he's messaging me as normal as if nothing happened. Anyway, I feel like I can't leave this guy cause he just ignores me when I do. How do you break up with someone who doesn't let you break up with him? Too long did not read. What do I do when someone ignores me trying to end the relationship? Question mark. What's to ignore or not ignore? Tell him it's over and then stop responding to his messages. If he shows up at your place, don't let him in. Pretty simple, I think. Just be really direct. If you want a life with a sexual component to it, which sounds like you do, he's clearly a waste of your time. Stop being a doormat. If you want it to be over, make it so. Lemony Snicket. Or Jim Carrey as Count Olaf. I'm trying not to laugh, this is literally a Seinfeld episode. Like George, you turned your key but he's refusing to turn his. Best advice: ignore him. You make your intention clear, stand firm and ignore his messages. You should give him what he wants. Move on. Just be firm and direct, men always understand that. What? I don't understand. Just don't talk to him. The end. Change the locks and block him. That might be the only way. His mum always insisted he was perfectly normal, so a diagnosis was never an option. Ignore him back. Tell him it's over and then block his ass. Just be firm. If he shows up again, do not engage. Block him. Your needs do not match. Dating is try before you buy, so to speak. There doesn't have to be a good guy and bad guy here. The good thing is that you don't live together. You end the relationship. They don't have to agree to it. You don't need his consent to break up. If you want to, send him another text saying clearly and concisely that you do not want to be in a romantic relationship, and if he still doesn't get it, stop replying. Breaking up is unilateral. You don't need him to agree, you don't need his permission to break up. You should try sending him a text. As I said before, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I wish you good luck in the future. Or something like that. Just because someone won't let you break up with them doesn't mean you are stuck with them. Just tell him in text you are done dating him and don't want a relationship with him anymore, and then consider yourself single. You already tried doing it in person and that didn't work out, and if someone isn't letting you break up with them is when you move on from them. A breakup doesn't have to be mutual. Seems like it's already over. Block him and move on. Good for you. A breakup can be a unilateral decision. If it's over for you, then it's over for both of you. You have no obligation to do anything for this person. That includes communication with them. You just walk away. Since when do you need his approval to leave a relationship? If he won't leave you alone, text him you've broken up with him, then block him. If he turns up at your place, don't answer the door. If he pushes anyway on any of this, time to take it to the police, because that's stalking. Hopefully it will not come to this. You're going to have to be blunt and harsh about it. And obviously no contact. Just leave. Why are you trying so hard? If he is being a baby and ignoring you while you're sharing your feelings about wanting to leave the relationship, that means he has heard and received your message. Your duty as a responsible adult sharing ends the second he refuses to acknowledge you. He will be much happier finding an asexual person with OCD like him. Just stop responding. Tell him once, this relationship is over, I wish you the best, but I won't be responding to your texts, calls or uninvited visits anymore. Then follow through. Block him if you have to. Stop talking to him, stop letting him into your house. You're broken up. Tell him, we're broken up, please stop contacting me, and block him on your phone. Block him. If he shows up at the house and refuses to leave, call the police. You can tell him to leave you alone and you want nothing to do with him anymore. Then, start ignoring and blocking. You will likely need to block him. But also, I'm so nosy I want to know what the Lemony Snicket thing is. His unwillingness to break up doesn't stop you from being done with him. Tell him to stop being disrespectful or you won't even keep a friendship going forward. A relationship without sex is just a friendship anyway, unless both people are asexual. He just wants emotional exclusivity, I guess. While he pretends you two are okay, you behave like you're friends. Meaning if he wants to come over you tell him you already have plans. Better yet tell him no because you have a date. Don't feel guilty about being honest with him. Be blunt and block him if you don't want friendship. Just be more blunt about it. I'm sorry but the relationship is over. We're just not compatible and leave it at that. Because of Lemony Snicket. Also, just to echo what other people are saying, you need to be blunt and then just act broken up. Sounds like being friends isn't really an option as it will just keep lines blurry. At this point he is just disrespecting your boundaries. Any attempt to do something nice, or pretend like nothing has changed is just manipulation. I would very firmly tell him that you no longer want to be with him and to not contact you again. If he does you have every right to ignore him or block him. So you and him have had mostly a sexless relationship. The fact that he's ignoring you is a huge red flag and should make you want to run away even faster. Now's the time to block his number and refuse any contact. How this ebook is what you use. Get ready for your perfect partner. How this ebook is what you use. Get ready for your perfect partner. Just start seeing other people. He will get the message eventually. Block him and if he shows up don't answer the door. You broke up with him, you don't owe him anything. If you want to break up you don't need his permission to do so. Make it clear to him you're leaving and then just leave. It doesn't have to be complicated. Humans just like making things hard for themselves. Tell him to leave you alone. And then call the police next time he shows up uninvited and refuses to leave. He 100% sounds autistic to me. What does Lemony Snicket have to do with anything? You can't just drop that without giving context. The old Costanza strategy. Yes, you can ignore him, tell him that you are not together, block him. You are not in a relationship with him anymore. What does it matter if he's ignoring you? That should be a good thing, right? Tell him explicitly you won't see him again, that it's done, and then block him. Ignore him when he comes to your place. Say he's being too clingy by showing up like that unannounced and should only meet you in public during daytime. Maybe after a few weeks or months without contact so he can fully embrace moving on and so you can adjust while figuring out if you really think you'd be able to have him in your life in any capacity post-relationship. Sounds like you need to be more direct. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Go no contact. Ending a relationship isn't an agreement. Just leave. Just stop talking, seeing him. Tell him it's over. Tell him not to come to your place uninvited and block him.